Hello everyone and welcome to my first installment of the Birth of an Empire videos, where I start an empire army. First of all, what to get inspiration from and base it on, and I'm actually gonna look close to home, at my home to be more precise. I'm gonna first of all look at Sweden, and I'm going to kind of base this army on the province of Sweden, where I'm from and where I currently live. I haven't always lived here, but majority of my time I've lived in Småland. And you can see here in this picture, this is a picture of all of Sweden, and you can see down there in the south the place in a different color. That's my home province, Småland. First thing I thought of was how am I going to paint this army? Because the big thing with starting this army is painting it, not only playing it. And that's a first for me, buying models primarily maybe to paint them and secondary to play with them. This is the coat of arms, or whatever you say, of Småland. Yeah, it's a red lion on a golden field with a crossbow. If you remove the crossbow, it's almost the Castamere house from Game of Thrones. I hope my empire won't end up the same way as the Castamere house. I do not actually want to paint my army in these colors like this, because I don't think it will look that striking. So I'm going to go with the traditional Swedish colors with a blue and a yellow, and then I'm going to have red as details. This means that my army will look like troops from what is the empire province called? Norrland? Or Nordland, something like that. And more specifically, like the soldiers from, I don't actually know the name of the city, Marienburg or something, the biggest port city in the empire. It's going to be those colors, but I'm going to try to work in these red lion as often as I can. What else do I have to go on? Now I've got colors, but what else to do? Well, one thing that is quite special with Småland is that it's one of the most religious, and by that I mean Christian, places in Sweden. As some of you might know, we're a lot of agnostics and atheists around here, but here in Småland is the stronghold of the Christians. You could almost say it's the major part of our Bible Belt. And the biggest city in Småland, Jönköping, is often in a mocking way called Swedish Jerusalem. And all around you can find a lot of free churches that are quite different. So there's not only a lot of religious people compared to the rest of the country here, it's certainly more devoted and more extreme Christians as well. Not only, but on top of the normal ones. So I want to incorporate that into my army, at least partially. And what I'm thinking here is, warrior priests and arch lectors are awesome as to lead the army. Witch hunter is a must, because you want to point out a heretic and all that. And also, I think flagellants, because that, like, the end is not, they're kind of the Jehovah's Witness here. I'm not saying that to offend any of the Jehovah's Witness, I'm just drawing a parallel. So that's my thought on that. Let me know what you think about that idea. So what more is, characteristic of Småland? Well, more specifically, from the part of Småland I'm from, is its highlands. The town I grew up in is actually the city in Sweden that is the highest above sea level in all of Sweden. So it's cold here compared to other places in Sweden that is about as far south as the highlands of Småland. The ground is extremely stony, and the ground isn't very fertile. That has shaped the people that live here, the Smålänninks, or Wikipedia call Smålandians. Yeah, that's a good term, Smålandians. Wikipedia says Smålandians have been known of their high level of entrepreneurship and low unemployment. Some suggest that the harsh conditions throughout history have forced the inhabitants, us the Smålandians, to be cunning, inventive, and cooperative, which is, awesome. But I think they only write, the good stuff in here. And here's a quote from an old document, which says, "The Smålandian is by nature awake and smart, diligent and hard-working, yet complaint, cunning and crafty, which give them the advantage of being able to move through life with little means." And I should maybe point out that one of the bad stereotypes of being a Smålandian is that we are scrimp or skimp. We're kind of the Swedish Jews in that matter, but we're not. Throughout history, Småland has been quite poor, actually, because infertile stony ground and such. So. And the comment about entrepreneurship, actually, most of you will probably know what IKEA is, the company that sells furnitures in small boxes, and you have to assemble them yourselves. Yeah, that started here in Småland, and the guy who started the company comes from here and everything. But I don't know how to work that into an Empire army. So if you got any suggestions on how to incorporate these elements into an Empire army, I'd be really happy. And this video is more of, just me putting the idea out there and telling you about the idea, because it's just an idea at this point. And we'll see how it progresses down the line. Thank you for watching.